I make the motion to pay the difference and pay the bill that has been submitted.
A second.
Also going back to that, we approved bills, but I did not pass these out for everybody to initial, so,
Just the top page.
yeah.
Something I'd like to look into is get a sign made up for the lagoon gate. We only take brush and leaves, no building materials, no chunks of cement, no nothing other than spring cleanup day. Cause we've got a pile of cement out there that we've gotta move. And I just need a sign on the gate so that when Helena goes out there and drops her stuff off, she knows.
I can only take my branches and my leaves.
And that was another thing too, we wanna, look at changing the locks around the lagoons, I think it's been well over 10 years, I think is what we said. And so we wanna change those locks to get into the lagoons.
Do you want to just change the one lock on the front gate? That keeps everybody out of the lagoon area if they can't get in the first gate.
Well, I'm talking just about the first gate,
Okay,
that key. Cause I think, cause that's separate keys, right? The first gate and the lagoons, or is it?
well, they're all keyed the same, but we can have a different key for the front
Front
gate.
gate, okay. So we need a motion then to change the locks for the front gate of the lagoons.
If we do that, I have a truck for a key for each truck,
Okay.
so
We would need,
any truck that needs to go out there,
okay.
so we need,
You don't need to go in the back of it, do you?
no, I don't know,
Okay.
just the front,
Well, you have that key.
yeah.
Two lock for front gate.
I'll make a motion that we get locks changed on the front gate at the lagoons and a sign put on
The gate.
specifying what's allowed.
I'll support her.
All in favor?
Second.
Opposed? Thank you. I haven't heard anything from, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't heard anything on the streets as far as Michigan paving yet. So, Finance Committee got anything they wanna report? Fire Committee? Okay. Parks Committee?
Oh, I'm excited that he's gotten some stuff done down there.
And we did get the picnic table in, it just has to be assembled and taken down there.
Okay.
So,
Building and Grounds. I came in the office, a week ago and he wanted some community service. I told him, the only thing I could think of is, we had that other person wanted to do community service, so we bought yellow paint and he never showed up, so I showed him where the paint was, where the brush was, and he checks in with Levi and we're getting it done, but he ran out of paint today, so we had to go buy some more. But he's sprucing it up anyway.
What about, paint for the building, yeah,
Interior.
interior?
I'm still looking into buying that,
Okay,
I need to do that.
put it on your little list, please.
building and grounds, sewer committee, we're all set there. Did we report that, did I report? They quoted us for the 3 pumps down at the main station down there to be between, now he was just ballparking it that day.
We have a motion to pay the full amount.
We do, the 109? Okay, then I notched that out. Go on to something else. Ordinance committee got anything? Personnel committee, we covered that. Anybody on board got anything they wanna bring up?
My question was the road construction, is there getting a date set so they
We
don't
have not,
miss the
we have
boat?
not got a date yet.
Or we're gonna get a date so we don't miss this year?
They told me they would have it done this year.
And what about the signs for Main Street? Yeah,
We haven't, other than what we have, I don't think we've ordered any, have we?
No, so I would recommend, I don't know if that would fall under ordinance committee. I would say there needs to be an ordinance committee meeting to make that, to regroup and talk about that.
cause we can't push anything on those renters not parking there until we get the signs up. Okay, where's Helen or Miranda?
Who?
You, me, Miranda.
So until we get signs up, the renters are gonna continue to take the places of the businesses' parking spots.
Correct.
So the sooner the better.
Miranda's not here to find out.
We'll just have a meeting and we'll order the signs, they can't be that much.
We've got most of them.
Either that or get the ones we got doctored up so we can use them.
Miranda had said before, and I agree with her, that it should just say business parking only.
Say, I'm sorry.
It should say business parking only, customer parking only, or business parking only. Letting them park there for 2 hours at a time is just not gonna work.
Mhm.
And they should just all park in the parking lot, so every sign should just say customer or business parking.
And didn't Matt say he already had poles there, or ready to put the poles in? He was just
No.
waiting? No? Oh,
If he
that's-
did, he doesn't.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
I don't remember that he said that though.
I don't remember that either.
Well, we'll have to have Levi look at the books or whatever he looks at to order that stuff done.
Okay. Public comment? John?
If I remember right, I think there's some valves out in the lagoons, right? Like in the center of the lagoons? So if we sell our equipment, how are we gonna service those valves?
We're not selling any equipment that will service that valve.
Well, if you sell the raft to get out there,
No, the valves are in the tubes in the driveway between the 2 ponds.
okay?
We serviced the valves before we got the raft. 100% of the reason that we bought the raft was we had to put this, I call it ferric chloride, but I'm not sure that's totally correct. We had to put it in the water. And we mounted a tank on there so that Steve could drive around there and dump it in.
Right? I just remember Steve saying there was some valves out there, and we were kinda joking about walking out to that valve to fix it.
Well, if you have to go out there like that, we have a rover. The raft is quite large, takes a lot of space in our pole barn. And it hasn't been used since Brian took over. I don't know what he's doing different, but he gets the water released without treating it. So. That answer your question, John? I'm not trying to be smart, I'm just saying,
Well, I think you need to look into it before you sell it, just to make sure.
Brian doesn't want it. I've
Yeah,
talked,
but it's for, but it's the villages, so if we need it, we need to check to see if we actually need to use it. To service those valves.
I'll ask Brian,
Okay.
but we never needed one before.
Okay.
Bonnie?
Did I understand that you are only interviewing one applicant? And can we put our sewer bills in that drop box? Probably not. And was that $15,000 mower that was gonna be bought, was that ever bought?
The Steiner.
Yeah, we have the new mower. And until we, in answer to your question, we have the Steiner. Levi's been running that, I'm surprised you haven't seen him in it. You can't pay your sewer bill in the drop box until we get a program in the office that will let us receive that money and make sure you get marked paid.
Like securely receive it.
So just the taxes
What
and
was
if
the
we
first
apply
one?
it for something?
Or if there's any other, I mean, there's day-to-day things, like if somebody wants to drop off, maybe get letters taped to the door sometimes. You try to shove letters under the door, just think it'd be beneficial, or, you know, sometimes people drop things off to the fire department, things like that, if we're not in office, they can just leave it, and it'll be secure.
We looked through several applications and they were just not, they were not good. Not good.
And we had another really good candidate, but he withdrew his submission.
I didn't hear all that you said.
We looked through several applications and they just weren't good at all.
So you just have one?
We have one that we narrowed it down to that's pretty perfect for the job, and so we don't wanna kind of waste time with other applicants that just aren't, they're just not at his level.
Janice?
I have a question added to that. Sometimes a good applicant can't fill out a paper really well, but can do a good job. So you couldn't have 2 people or 3 people that could have been interviewed? What do you have to compare to? I've sat through interviews at school, and we had, an employee that had a resume this big and was really, really wonderful. But the job that was done was a different story.
He was the only one with experience in this area what we need for it. We had people apply that worked at a pharmacy, a boat marina. I mean, you know what I mean, and like, that's their current job, or their, you know, just, it wasn't really slim pickings, so.
I know one came in, the guy lived down in Ohio.
Yeah, people were calling and saying, can you hire from out of state? There were people from Saline, like, it's just crazy.
Will it be a meeting that we can set in an interview when you interview them?
Possibly, I think that's something we have to look into.
Look into it.
And we set in on superintendent and principal interviews.
Right.
We just have to post it so that you know about it. John?
Do we still have the paver? Is that gonna be sold?
Not yet. Yes, we do. We still have it. No, we're not ready to sell it yet.
I think that needs to go before you sell that raft.
I'm gonna get much money out of it because the motor don't run. Now, I had too many people gonna work on it. And I think I have, I just gotta find a time when that guy can do it in his farming. He's a certified diesel mechanic.
Been like 5 or 6 years,
You wanna buy it?
I think. No, scrap it, send it to the scrap yard.
I would like to know how much it's gonna cost to get it running first, before I would say scrap it.
Any other public comment?
Any other comments?
I do, but you won't wanna hear them, so shut up.
Okay, need a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.